Cool. So you mentioned that the missionaries versus mercenaries, right? And I have heard your other videos talking about it. But when in the real world, in the practice, when you go into a PM role, you have to deal with stakeholders that do not want to talk about problems. They just are asking you, when will this feature, because they know the solution, right? So when will this feature be done? And then you turn around to your team, and your team doesn't want to be in a meeting where they are solving problems, or they just want you as a product manager to tell them what feature to build because they just want to be coding, right? How do you get out of this cycle and convert it, get out of the feature driven teams to a really empowered team?
Yeah. Well, there's really two things in what you brought up. Let's get rid of the first one first. If your engineers don't care about what they build, you probably have the wrong engineers.
Okay.
So that is a sign of, I mean, that's literally mercenaries. And one of the things I tell companies, and don't get me wrong, I've seen that, but it's not at good companies. Good companies try very hard not to hire engineers that think like that. Mm-hmm. And in fact, I tell those engineers, I said, you know, if that's how you think, the company should just hire Accenture. They should just get rid of you and hire Accenture. That's because that's Accenture's model. The Accenture's model is just tell us what to build, we'll build it. Mm-hmm. Why do you have to hire these people? We'll do whatever. That's not why a product company hires its own engineers. It hires its own engineers so that they can get people that care just as much about what they build as how they build it, like I said. So that's a bigger problem. That's a bigger. Now, in truth, you don't need every engineer to feel that way. But if you don't have at least one senior engineer on every product team that's passionate about what they're building, you're never going to innovate. You're never going to solve hard problems. You're just going to be there to implement code. And again, might as well just hire Accenture if that's what you're doing.